Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Aroa and today I will be doing a personal development video. I will be talking about how to start healthy habits in January. So we are pretty much done with January. So just to finish up the month, I thought what a great moment to just remind everyone of some tips to actually carry on working towards your goals or your New Year's resolutions, because January, especially the end of January, is just such a time of like depression. You start feeling less empowered, maybe a little bit discouraged. Maybe you started really hard at the beginning of January with your goals, and then as the month went by, you're like, I am exhausted already, kind of quitting on the way. The weather is very depressing. So I thought, okay, let's just remind everybody of good tips to carry on doing healthy habits for your New Year's resolutions. How do you get closer towards your goals, and how do you keep yourself motivated? So I have gathered these thoughts from my own experience, reflecting on what's helping me, and I hope that they help you. Here we go. So my first tip to start healthy habits in January is to remind yourself of your goals on a daily basis. For me, what's really helping me at the moment is to have made a vision board and to see that on a daily basis. Okay, so for me, I've made a vision board that has some images that remind me of what my New Year's resolutions are, and the fact that I'm constantly every day seeing it is just reminding me of what my goals are, so that I do not lose focus, and that I basically remember that I have to implement the changes in my lifestyle on a daily basis to actually get there at the end of the day. So basically reminding yourself of what your goals are is so important, and I recommend that you create a vision board and you put it wherever is more convenient for you, so that automatically every day you are reminded. You're reminded of what you actually want to achieve, what your intentions are, and that way you stay focused, you avoid distractions, and you remember that you have to keep pushing towards doing the things that you have to do in order to achieve your goals. So that's my first tip, to create some sort of vision board or anything that helps you to remember all of the things that you want to achieve. My next tip to start healthy habits in January, healthy habits that will be hopefully staying with you for the rest of the year and will create the results in your life that you are looking for. Second tip is to implement small changes to your daily life instead of drastic big changes. Why do I say that? Because I've noticed, for me at least, that if I implement a drastic change, okay, sure, I am very excited because it looks like I'm making more progress. But the truth is that it drains me and it exhausts me so much faster, which means that I'm way more likely to quit when I still don't really have the results I want to achieve. Okay, so for me, I think implementing small changes, but more consistently, that already are taking me towards my goal, but they're not absolutely basically exhausting me, or they are not very, very different to my current life, is basically what I have thought to be more effective so far. And the reason why I haven't quit just yet, okay, I have not quit just yet with my New Year's resolutions. But if I would have implemented drastic changes to my lifestyle, I feel like it would have been so much harder for me to sustain that in the long run. Okay, so I mean, it's all about testing and seeing what sort of method works for you. I'm just saying that for me, I find it more effective to do small changes on a daily basis, but consistently, because that also helps you to develop a new habit. And habits are what bring results at the end of the day. It's just the fact that you've been doing something that is taking you towards your goal consistently over a long time. Okay, so I recommend that you focus on small changes instead of drastic lifestyle changes that can potentially very much exhaust you. I could provide an example just to clarify this a bit more. But for example, imagine that you are trying to eat healthier, okay, because you eat very unhealthy, and your New Year's resolution was to eat healthier. So if you drastically change your entire diet, all your meals, and you start eating a lot of veggies that you probably don't like, because that's probably why you do not eat them, it's going to be a big change, as opposed to just, for example, starting with one meal a day that you change and you make it very healthy. Slowly, you will basically get used to other tastes, okay? You will get used to tasting other foods that are not the sort of unhealthy foods that you have. And in the long run, it will be easier for you to change all of your meals. But if you start just literally from one day to the next changing all your meals, the contrast not only could be quite unhealthy for your body, just the contrast of that, but also it could be quite exhausting for your mind to just continue with that, because it's just too shocking and too drastic. Okay, so that's just an example. I recommend that you do small changes on a consistent manner in order to achieve your results. I think that's what's being more effective to me. So tip number 3 is to actually remove the things that are not helping you. So to do a good analysis and a good self-reflection into what things are actually helping you to change your lifestyle, to grow, to develop yourself, and what things are not. Okay, you have to be very honest with yourself, because you are the person that truly knows. So the things that are really not helping you, you have to kind of either remove them or change the way you use them so that they help you. So, you know, this is quite broad, but if I was to give you an example, imagine that you get so distracted with social media to the point that, for example, you lose like 2 hours of your day that you could spend working towards your own goals, just scrolling on social media. Well, for example, you could use the fact that you spend all that time on social media to look at things that are helping you to achieve your goals, because that's very different from actually scrolling and looking at things that give you no value. So that's what I mean about either removing things that are distracting you or being something that is not helping you succeed, or changing the way you use them so that they actually are giving you value that's helping you to succeed. Okay, so that is key. There is a really, really good quote that I have here, which is, healthy habits aren't just about doing more. They are about doing less of what's holding you back. Such a good quote, such a good quote. So do less of what's holding you back, or change the way you are using something that's holding you back so that it doesn't hold you back. And my last tip to implement healthy habits in January is to plan your day, including time for your new habits. So for me, that has helped me a lot. Okay, so like I plan my day and I make sure that I actually have some time in my day reserved to actually do those new habits that will be taking me closer towards my goals on a daily basis. So making sure that you actually have made time for your goals in your agenda is key, okay? Because a lot of people, for example, they want to lose weight or be fit, but they're not making enough time on their agenda to go exercise. And so that's where their goal is not fully being implemented. Like, you have to make time in your day to do what you need to do in order to achieve your goal. And so planning your day and making sure you're like, okay, let me prioritize this, let me move these things around, planning everything you have to do and figuring out when in the day you are going to do what's helping you succeed is key. For example, if you want to start eating healthy, you might have to spend a bit more time cooking. So when in your day are you going to cook? That's something that you have to get very, very clear with yourself and just plan your day so that you can move closer towards your goals. Okay, so that's it for this video. I hope that you found these tips helpful. January is such a tough month because a lot of us are like trying new habits, we're trying new things to achieve goals, our New Year's resolutions, and change is not easy. It requires consistency, it requires strength, it requires that you make time for it. So it's not easy, and on top of that, I mean, the weather is not really helpful. So you get even more depressed. It's not easy, but that's why I filmed this video. And I was like, let's talk about how to implement healthy habits in January to continue working towards your New Year's resolutions. So let me know your thoughts if you found these tips helpful. If you do any of these tips, let me know. I always love to hear from you. And I hope that you enjoyed this personal development topic. And I will see you in my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.